Hi, my name is Mike Ivall, and I am the guy behind Big Nish. I do my own digital native art using the woodland style, similar to a Morrisseau style artwork. And I'm going to show you the basics that I use to do my work on Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator. There is a free trial that you can download off their website that's for 7 days, and I'm going to show you how I create some work on there with just some of the basic tools on there. So let's get started. Here I'm talking about Illustrator. So let's get something going here. Let me just do something simple, and I'll try to show you what I'm doing here. Okay, so we're gonna start with a blank canvas. So let's start from the beginning. So this is the screen you'll probably get, is something like this. Create a new file and art illustration. So this is a custom made one. So I will click this. The program itself will have different templates that you could use, and you can use any one you want, because later on you can adjust it however you like. So now that I got that, this is set to 17 by 17 inches. So this is the space I like to work in. Most of the time I don't even work in this white space. I usually work in the dark space over all the way around there. I don't know why, but it's just something I like to do. All right. So first off, let me just show a couple of the tools that I will use. So up in the top corner here, I don't know if you can actually see that, but it actually says selection tool. Below that, it says direct selection tool. So the selection tool will select a whole shape. So I'm going to make this shape here. So if I click on this, you'll see it gets a little highlighted. I'm not sure if you can actually see the highlights on here, but there's a blue highlight on here. You see the little squares in the middle and on the corners, and that allows you to make the square bigger when you grab these. But the selection tool will let you select this, and you can move it anywhere around. So if you click on the corner, all of this is just going to move it around. And so while we're on here, if you want to make it bigger, you just highlight these little squares here. These little squares here will let you alter your shape. So you can just pull it down here. It still looks like a square almost, but it's not. It's more of a rectangle now. See, now you can go like this and do that. So now if you just want to move up from here to the middle, you can't go side to side. If you click one of the ones in the middle, it's just going to go up and down in the spot that it's at here. Same with the one in the middle here. That's going to go like this. And you can make it move side to side. And the ones in the corners will allow you to move it any way you want, turn it to any square, rectangle shape you like. All right. So let's go back to our square. Okay, so I'm using some shortcut keys here that I won't talk about today, because that's something a little bit more advanced. They are faster, but in order for you to understand what the program is about, in order for you to understand how things work, we have to kind of go through the basics. So now here you got a Deluxe selection tool. So if you notice that here, I'll try to show it again. So this is the selection tool. You see how it's black? So now if I click the direct selection tool, now it's turned my cursor white. So what that allows me to do is that I can click in the square, and I can move the square anywhere I want, just like the direct selection tool. As you can see, it turned black because it's acting like that. But you notice that there's no little squares anywhere on here. So what happens is that there's these tiny little nodes down here, and if you can read it down there, it says anchor. So if I click on it, this anchor will stay blue, and the other anchors will turn into white. So what that allows me to do is to just alter or move that particular anchor point. And what that allows me to do is now I can deform the shape into anything you want as well. So now you're getting to like these rhomboids or these crazy big trapezoid words, you know? So just like some like odd squares, if you want to call it that, or odd rectangles. You can move any one of these in and out. You can turn it into some kind of a diamond shape. And that's what this one does. So you can click one and move the shape any way you want. So one little tip that I can show you is that if you hold the shift key, you can select more than one. So if you want to select more than one, like I've done here, now they're both solid color and they're not a little outline. Now you can move both of them at the same time. That works for all shapes. Any kind of shape you're making in here, you can select any number of them at the same time as long as you're holding the shift key. Then you can let the shift key go, as you heard me do, and now you can move it any way you want. And now it's turned into some kind of like arrow shape, as you can see here. Turn it back into here, and then maybe go here, do one again, and then make that arrow shape again. All right, so let me go back here to the square again. So if you want to undo things, as you would see me do here, if you go up to File and you go to Edit, it says Undo Move. Now if you look to the right of all these actions up here, there are shortcuts. And if you download the program for yourself to find out, to test on how things work, then you'll see those shortcuts, and that's what you have to do when you're clicking or to get the tool to work, so that you can have the shortcut so things go a little bit faster. All right. So the next tool is a lasso tool, which is something I don't normally use all the time, but all it does is a lasso, like if you were to catch a cow or something, or whatever, like the cowboys in the Old West. So you would draw a circle around it, it doesn't matter how it is, and all it does is just select whatever is in that circle, and then you can move it around or move pieces around. But that's nothing you really need to know. Not unless you want to figure it out later on. The next tool down is the pen tool. So here you can draw your lines. This is the tool I use the most, because the style of art that I do is the woodland style art. It flows very well, and it's not so edgy. You can just make any kind of shape you want, and you can go to a circle, and it doesn't even have to be a perfect circle. And you can make all the shapes you want. And again, if you grab the selection tool like I did up here, click on one of the anchor points, then you can move this around, and now you've got some deformed shapes. Now it looks like some kind of crescent. Now it looks like a circle. So the thing that's different about this now is when you got rounded shapes, is that now you get these little antennae. So they're called handles. And what this handle does is that if you take the direct selection tool and you click on that and hold it, you can turn it around to any angle and make it longer or shorter. And as you can see with that, just that little blue line there that you got going on in there, you can see that anything you want to do with this, any direction, that's the way it'll go. So you can go like this and create a weird shape like that, or you can just go back to the same thing there and just, now it's almost looks like it's a point. And then if you go like this, now it's even more of a point. And then if you remove them, or you press, if you press Control, no, sorry, if you press Shift and move it, now it sticks into different angles. Usually it's a 45-degree angle. And if you click the Alt button, you'll be able to break one handle away, and now you can separate them both and make even more abstract shapes. So get rid of that. I'll go back here. So the next tool down there is a type tool. So this is pretty straightforward. Everybody knows how to type on a computer or their smartphone. So if you just highlight that and just type in, there you go, type in hello. And now you can like make them bigger if you use the direct selection with the select tool. And again, if you do the direct selection tool, nothing will happen on here because this is text and it's a little bit different. But again, if you just play around with the program, everything is, it's fun. I find it fun to learn all this stuff. There's a whole bunch of YouTube videos out there that'll help you learn things that you don't understand. This is how I learned. I started learning how to play with this program, a really older version of this program, but it allowed me to perfect my craft going this long, and then I ended up getting a job at a Jersey place, and that's sort of where I work at the moment because of COVID, you know, like nobody's really working too much. But then I also got my own little brand that I got going on, and it allows me to explore more of my brand, and it allows me to perfect my artwork. So yeah, just play with it, play around with it, and make sure just look on things, look on YouTube just to find different things that you can do. So again, that's the type tool, like I said before earlier. And up at the top of the screen, there's it says character, and up here you get a list of different fonts that you can use, so you can change your font into anything you want. So we can change it to this crazy weird, looks like haystack. So you can change it here, and then now you can stretch it out, go like this, and you can just do anything you want with it. Again, just play with it, have fun. The next tool is a line segment tool, which I don't normally use all the time. So it's just basically what it says. It just makes lines. And I don't really play with that tool because I like using the pen tool all the time, and that's where most of my work comes from. The next tool is, so you could do one with a rectangle, a rounded rectangle tool, an ellipse, a polygon, a star, and a flare tool. The flare tool I don't really use, but I use all the other tools quite a bit sometimes, especially in my day job. So One thing I forgot to mention, that if you see these tiny little arrows beside the tools, here, let me bring this out here. So these little tools here, if you see it here, some of these little tools have little arrows in the bottom right hand corner. What you can do is, when you're clicking on the mouse with your left button, push and hold it, and it gives you another group of tools that will pop out. So the pen tool will give you all these other tools here. But again, I'm just trying to show you just some of the basic stuff on here. There's different ways you can do type. This one here I use quite a bit is called type on path. The path is the blue outline that you see on anything when you draw with the pen tool. That's a path. So if I click this, and this here is a path, this is how you draw a path. And then if I take the type on path tool and I just put it on top of there, and you see how it highlights path there. Now you see all this text go around here, and now I can just type HELLO, and then as you can see there's hello on there. And then if I make it bigger, and as you can see, it will follow the path on there. So if I just make it hello, as you can see, it goes all the way around, and you can make a shape and then have the word hello on there if you wish. So again, this square tool here has 5 different tools in it when you push and hold it. So you just drag over and go down to one of the tools that you'd like to use, and then you can make those tools. And you can make those shapes, sorry. So let me put this back over here on the side. And let's get back out here. So yes, one of the tools in there is a rounded square tool. As you can see, there's rounded edges to them. And you'll notice these tiny little white circles inside here. Those white circles were on the square as well, the normal square that I had. What they do is they allow you to change the rounded corners. You can turn it into a circle if you want that way, but there is a tool there to make a circle as well. So you just go and you go into a corner. Now I made a full square. Now the points are edged like before. Or you can make it round. You can start making your own little app icons or anything like that, you know, if you're into that kind of thing. All right. So there's all the other tools down here. There's a shear tool, and if you push down there, there's scale tool and stuff. There is a paintbrush tool that's on here, so if you just go like that, just like drawing with a pencil, all that stuff will turn into a shape, into a path, and then now you can see all these little anchor points, and now you can mess around and change them and do things to them just like that. And then there's eyedropper tool, a gradient tool. You don't necessarily need you don't need a fill tool like you would if you had Photoshop. So if you make a square or a circle, so when you want to change a color on here, there is a tool up in the top right hand corner, and you can change your colors on here. It'll just change the full color. It's not gonna go in every one of those little pixels that you got and for the Photoshop and you know how sometimes it just doesn't go all the way. You have to find those little pixels to make it look better. Here you can just change it to whichever you like. And then if you click the color instead of clicking the swatches or libraries, then you can alter the color even more. So that color here, I can color the slider color here. Sometimes it's in CMYK, sometimes it's in RGB. RGB means red, green, blue. And CMYK is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, black is K. In the print world, most of the places will end up using CMYK. So if you're creating things for your own use and you want to get it printed out, most of the time the colors will be in CMYK, and there are color books that you can find. You might have to spend a little money on that, but all you have to do is just take it to whichever printer you want and figure out what color with them if you want to do that. You know, if you're interested in making your own kind of design, if that's what you're interested in, or if you just want to just color or do something on here just because you just want to do your own thing. So yeah, there's more things in here that that you can learn on your own when you're just playing with it. In the bottom in the bottom left hand corner, there's the little fill X here, and then on the outside here it's called a stroke. It's the stroke here for this is just I'd have to show you on the opposite side too. So if you do stroke, so obviously if you go to the color on the left hand side where it says stroke, there's like a little outline on it with a line through it. That means there's nothing going on there. That means there's no color. So if you click swatches and say you want to do blue, so now if you see over there in that bottom two little boxes, so you got one that's red and then you got the blue one that's just like an outline, it looks like on there. So that's exactly what they're trying to talk about, is that it's an outline. So that means, so now once you got that outline going, if you want it to get bigger, which when you start the program, it's gonna make it when you make the object bigger or smaller, it's gonna make the line bigger or smaller, but I've turned that off in the settings. So that's something you'll have to find out when you're playing with the program and, you know, using your help with the YouTube videos and stuff. So over on the right hand side, there's a bunch of tools over here as well. So there's one that has 3 lines on it over here and it says stroke, one to highlight over it. So if I go and click that, and over here it says weight. So the weight is the thickness of that line. So if you when you get it, it might say points on it, it might say inches, it might say centimeters beside it, but the action is still the same. So if you push up on the arrow and then you watch on the outside of the square, so as I'm pushing it there, you can see on the outside of the square there, you can see that line is starting to get much thicker. And that's what that does. So if you play with some of the tools in there, it says align stroke if you happen to go look at it. So now that places the stroke on the inside of your shape, and then the other one aligns a stroke on the outside of your shape, so you'll be able to do some outlines on something if you're trying to do a logo or something that you have, and you can do that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna draw a simple couple of shapes in my style. So I'm just gonna let's draw the unity. Let's draw the unity symbol. So everybody knows it's the white, yellow, red, and black. So, and I'm going to do it in the woodland style. So let's start with a circle. So instead of using the circle tool, I will just use freehand and go around and make something that looks something like a circle. So as you see, it's kept it remembers everything that you've done prior to whatever you're drawing. So you'll have to turn things off at some point to get rid of some of these. So if you, again, over here on the bottom left hand of your toolbar, which your toolbar might actually be sitting like this, so you'll see that the colors are bigger in here and it might be easier for you to notice it, but I like it like this, so it's nice. I get a bigger space to work with. So if you see over here on the stroke, if it's highlighted, when it's highlighted, it's forward. if you highlight the fill, it comes forward. If you highlight the stroke, it goes forward. So now you know which one is the one that you want. But so now I want to select none because I don't want no color on it. So there's these three little tools down here. One says color, one says gradient, and one says none. So so I don't want the stroke on here, so I'm going to select none. So as you see, the stroke goes away from the circle I have. And then I want to change this to black. So there's a little black over here in the color panel. I'm just going to click black, and then I got black here as my color. So I want to make sure that I get this a little bit more rounded for myself. Again, I find that with this art style, it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be any size, any shape you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. It's a little therapeutic, if you ask. All right, so now that I got my basic shape that I want, it's similar to a circle. It's not a total circle, but again, that's how the art style is. So now I'm gonna collect the pen tool again, and now I want to get the color white. So I will go up to the swatches up here. When you go to the color panel up here, this color panel will usually be here all the time unless you choose something else. So then you click swatches, that's just beside it, and I'm going to select the color white up here. So I've selected color white, and I still have my pen tool. And with my pen tool, I will draw a rounded end triangle up in here. As you can see, I'm going like this, making a little lines here. All right, so now I got one color. Let's go back and collect that pen tool, and I want to collect the red color, so I'm going to select red over here. And then while I'm selecting the red color, and while this red color is on there, let's draw another one of these triangles down here. Maybe I don't like that, and so I just go back a little bit. All right. Let's get some yellow. Again, select the pen tool again, because if you go up here and select here, it's going to go to a selection tool. Or I've already selected the selection tool with the shortcut keys down here, so that's why most of the time I'll have to go back and select the pen tool. Or you just push P and you get the pen tool. So let's get yellow, get the pen tool. Whoops. I made yellow there, but I wasn't supposed to. All right. So, see, now this is one of the problems that you might come in contact with. So all it is that your piece or your path that you're working on, or the shape that you're working on, is still highlighted. As you can see, it's still highlighted. That's why the colors are changing on here. So what you need to do is just click anywhere outside of that on the white canvas, or on the gray area if you like working on the gray area on here. So just click out there, and then it stops highlighting it. Now you can collect the yellow color, click on the pen tool, and then draw your lines again. Again, I am not doing it so, oops, I wanted that little one over here. Again, my art style is not harsh, it's not structured, but I can get that way at some times if I feel like it. All right, so now we got that color. So now, because I'm working with black already, I'm gonna go and choose blue, because some Unity wheels have blue in it. I'm not sure I am Ojibway, but most of the meetings are the same. So here we go, we got the blue one, and as you can see, I've completed my Unity wheel, and it's got that really abstract look to it. And then let me just quickly go through this and just go a little bit faster, and I'll show you what I kind of do here. So as you notice that most woodland art kind of has this like color and then like an outline of another color on it. So that's how I'll end up doing this here. So maybe I don't want that color there, so I will I'll collect the eyedropper tool and just click on here, and that'll change that color there too if you want. But I also want that outline to a different color, and I want a gray color, so I just choose that. So now we got white in here in the middle, the lighter color in the middle. Whoops. Grab the handle. If you don't grab the handle, it's gonna grab the shape behind there, and then you'll end up moving the shape, and you don't want to do that. So I'm zooming in and out. There is a zoom tool that's down in the bottom left-hand corner there. So you get the zoom tool, and you see it says a plus on it. It'll let you go in, and if you hold the Alt key, it goes out, and you get a little minus on it. Again, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that on here. I'll see if we can show it here. So as you can see, it changes there. Little plus tool, little minus tool when you press the Alt key, and if you hold it, then start clicking, and it'll go in and out. All right, so let's get the pen tool again and complete my design. Select this color here, and then maybe I want the outside color a little darker, so you'll see me playing with the colors up here in the top right hand corner. Oh, sorry, you're not seeing that. So yeah, I'm playing with the colors up here in the top right hand corner. Right now I'm adjusting the M. So as you can see, the colors are getting darker and lighter as I go up and down on the numbers. You can adjust the numbers just by inputting them, or you can use your mouse scroll button while it's highlighted, and the numbers will go up one by one. Oops, went a little bit too far. All right, so pen tool again. Again, just flow with it. Do your little bit of adjusting on the way. Again, when you're starting off, you don't have to everything doesn't have to be perfect. That's what art is about. Nothing has to be perfect. It only has to be perfect to you. It doesn't have to be perfect to everybody else. So I'm going to try to keep the same colors as we were doing with everything else, where it's dark on the outside, light on the end. Side. And here we go here. Again, you'll see that that color is still red. All right, and then let's change that to blue, and then change the outside one to a darker blue. So I'm going to adjust the black over here, and it'll turn into a darker blue. And now you see there's a nice big Unity symbol there. So now if I really wanted to, maybe I can put wings on here, maybe I can put an eagle head on here or something and turn it into something pretty cool. If I were gonna do that, you know, like, then I would grab the pen tool and then maybe start drawing some wings on it. This is the part where it gets a little fun, because then you can just do whatever you want. That's why this art style is good. That's why I find it good, because you can do whatever shape you want. So as you can see, that things are on top of each other here. So if you just color it black, now it looks like it kind of disappears on there. So, and then up here, just, you know, just make some little lines, do a little dance, make a little art. Get down tonight. Yeah, I know it was a cheesy joke. You probably won't get it. All right, so let's say you wanted gray out here, or maybe red. So let's choose red. Grab that part, and then you want to go inside there. And then maybe this time you want to put the dark color on the inside. So as you can see now, I got the starting of a wing. So let's do that like this. I hope I'm not going too fast for you guys. I hope you'll be able to learn and understand exactly what it is that I'm doing, and if not, you know, just again, like, I can't reiterate it enough. Like, I had to learn this all on my own. I never went to school for this. And you know, art is art, whether it's on the pencil or whether it's on the computer, or you know, like it's music or something. It's a lot of it is just trial and error. You have to kind of just like do your own thing. So let's see here, maybe I want dark colors. So as you can see, the wings are getting a little bit more definition. And then, so yeah, if you just keep going and going and going, and just don't give up. And if it's something that you'd like to do, if you like to do art and you want to get into the digital age, where it's like maybe later on down the line you want to do your own t-shirts or something like I do, or maybe you want to get into a job and do graphic design and stuff, it's definitely worth getting into learning how these programs work for yourself, so that you can further your career if you want to do that, or if you want to get into that kind of career. So again, I'm just doing these very, very simple, just so I can show you just how I can create my work. And again, just the woodland art style, you know. Put white there, let's put gray on the inside of there. So what I'm doing right now is, now I'm just doing a little bit of an advanced stuff. If you right click this here, it says you can group things. Grouping things means I can take all these pieces and I can make them all one piece, and I can move them side to side. You do whatever you want with that. The same thing with this one here. Just go here and see, it says it's ungrouped because I think I've grouped it already, which I have. So here I can move these freely about like this, and I can still do the same thing, like do all that stuff to it, just like I said before with the direct selection tool. So let's go here, and just getting a little bit more advanced, I'm going to transform. So if you watch what I'm doing here, it says transform, it says reflect, Up in the top left hand corner it says vertical or horizontal. You choose which direction you want to go to, and then select copy. Sorry. So just select reflect and select OK, and that'll just reflect the thing that you had there. I had to redo that again because I didn't explain it properly. Then there's an arrange thing, so you can bringing to the front means whatever shape you have will come to the front of your page, just like in Photoshop where you got different layers. This also has different layers as well. So if you select it and you go to arrange and you want to send it to the back, that'll put it all the way to the back, so it'll be the bottom layer, so other things will come out to the front. So I want the circle here to come to the front, so I want to send the wings to the back, and then maybe I want to move them in a little bit like this, and then maybe I want to center it, so there's some centering tools up here if you want. So I've grouped these two together, and now they're both together like this, and then I'm going to select all of these. Again, there's some more advanced stuff that I could go into, but you know that it's. I'm just trying to show you how I create my stuff, and then see, there you go. Got some wings on there, and that's the beginnings of a design that I could use on a T-shirt, on a hat, or anything, or just, you know, put it on a wall or something, and you know, like, make a big piece of art. So like, you know how those a lot of the woodland arts are, they're just one big you know, some of them have just solid color in the background. So say maybe I wanted to put orange in the background, so there you go. So now I got this. Put this up here. Maybe I want to put a smaller one down here. So see, now I've done that. So now look, it kind of looks like a totem pole from the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just play around with it. I hope that it's something that you'll be able to to learn. I hope it's something that's going to be good for you. I hope you can enjoy it, and I hope I did good by trying to teach you how this works. I hope that you guys are able to you know, get something out of it and bring forth your art to life. Again, my name is Mike Ivall, and I do Big Nish, and you know, thanks for watching, and have a good day, have a good night. Miigwech, and I hope to see you again. Take care. I just wanted to show you what exactly the kind of stuff that I do. You might have seen some of this stuff before. Right now I've been just trying to get it ready so that I can put it on some beanie hats. As you can see, I have a raptor design, this skull and snake, a Blue Jays style design, and one for the reservation I'm from. I'm from Georgina Island First Nation, and this is the kind of hat I'm working on right now. And this little crest I got, as you can see, it's this one right here. So, and then at some point I will get this sewn onto here, and it'll look pretty nice, and then I can take that out and have some people maybe buy that later on. This whole program does everything in vector format. Vector format is a format that allows you to make images bigger or smaller without losing any kind of quality. If you look at a JPEG image, most JPEG images will be very jaggy, if I can bring something in here that I've done earlier, and I can kind of give you an idea what I'm talking about. So right here, this is a hoodie that I was working on a while ago, and there's my little Thomas logo there. Hey Victor, if anybody knows that. So as you can see here, I could probably size this to any size I want on here, but it looks okay from here. But as soon as you go in, now you start seeing these little jaggy lines here. You see these little jaggy lines in here? So that's not good for print. So what you have to do is create, or what I like to do is create stuff on here, and then you don't get those jaggy lines. So it doesn't matter how far I zoom in, those lines will be nice and crisp. And that's how I like to do my stuff. Now, that's not to say that you can't use Photoshop, because I know some people, or a lot of people, probably are very comfortable with Photoshop. So hi again, my name is Mike Ivall, and I do Big Nish. I hope I was able to show you a little bit of ins and outs on how I do things, and a little bit of ins and outs on the program that I use, and I hope that it propels your art a little bit further in the digital age, or even just on paper. If you just got inspired by what I just drew there, you know, just to do things on paper, that's great. You know, just any kind of art is good. But yeah, I just hope that my instruction was good, and that you could see everything on there, and that you can use it to make your own designs. And maybe I'll see your designs on hats and t-shirts and stuff, just like, you know, just like what I got here. You know, this is one of mine as well. So I hope to see your designs later on, and I hope to you know, I hope that I helped. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.